Then let us start with the session for today. So in the last session we were done with QC, right? And did we started discussing about Selenium? Anything? No? Okay. Okay. So the next tool that we have to take up is an automation tool. Okay. And we would be taking Selenium now. See, up till now, the tool that we discussed was QC, okay, and that was not a test automation tool at all. That was a test management tool. Okay, over there you all must have seen that we only were the people who were doing everything. We were writing down the requirements. We were writing down the um, test cases. Okay, then after that we were executing the test cases in the test lab tab, and whatever were the actual results, that also we were jotting down. And then in the defect tab we were, whatever were the defects which were found while executing the test cases, those defects were submitted over there to the development team, and all the things were arranged. So only the the purpose of that tool was to document all the things and to keep the document at a centralized position, so that if any moment of time we want to access any of the things, or we want to use any of the things, so we don't need to give mails to each other, so that that would be a problem. Okay, so all the people who need to have the list of the documents or the requirements, so all those things, so all those people were provided with their own login IDs and password, and then they were able to access the things. Okay, but over here in Selenium the case would be totally different. Okay, that would be as we all know that it is a test automation tool. Okay, so it would automate, or you can say the test cases will be executed via using this tool. Okay, we manually we don't have to execute the test cases, but yes, we will have to follow certain rules and regulations which are there for the test automation tools. That all things we need to discuss over here in Selenium. But before that, Kirti, you are saying that for Selenium we need to know we have to have the knowledge of Java. You should actually understand the script, I would say. Okay, and that is actually the JavaScript and the HTML tags and many more things are there. So you should be able to understand that, I would say, at a very initial phase. Okay, so nobody would be like, when you're entering into the industry, nobody would be giving you the tool and would ask you to just to write down scripting language onto that. Okay, so that would not be the case. But yes, if you have the knowledge, then it is always a plus point. Okay. Okay, so it is a test automation tool. Okay, and this tool itself is divided into three components. Okay, so there are some components of the Selenium tool, and we'll discuss about those components. So the first component is the Selenium ID, that is the integrated development environment. Okay, now what will happen over here in Selenium IDE? See, basically the Selenium IDE, or you can say the Selenium, it is actually used for testing the web-based applications only. Okay, so I should write it over here itself, that it is a test automation tool to test the web-based applications only. Okay, so no desktop applications could be automated via using the Selenium tool. Okay, now as I told that it is used only for web-based applications, but this component of Selenium, that is the Selenium IDE, okay, it supports only Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so if you have to execute the test cases by using the component Selenium IDE, then you can execute those test cases only in Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so for that Selenium IDE, you need to have a plugin in Firefox browser. Then only you would be able to execute the test cases. Okay, so it supports only the Mozilla Firefox browser. Okay, and what are the uses of this tool or this Selenium IDE is what we can do. See, in any of the test automation tool, any test automation tool, it is based upon the mechanism of record and playback. Okay, whether it is Selenium or whether you talk about QTP. So any of the test automation tool, it is always based upon this mechanism, record and playback. Now what is this record and playback? You need to first record the test cases, or you can say that you need to first, as you do in videos, right? Take a very non-technical example. So if you try to capture a video, what you are going to do, you are first going to record it. Okay, and whenever you want to see that video, what you are going to do, you are going to play it back. Okay, so similarly over here also, whatever test cases you want to execute, those test cases are first recorded, and then if you want to do some modifications, or if you don't want to do the modifications, whatever are the things, so then you can play it back with modifications or without modifications. That depends actually upon the scenario that you are working upon. Okay, but every test automation tool, it is based upon this mechanism only, which is record and then playback. Okay, so what you are going to do over here, you are going to first record a test case. Okay, and then play it back. Okay, then one more thing could be done over here, and the Selenium IDE is, see, the Selenium IDE, it supports many languages, you can say. Okay, many scripting languages are supported by Selenium IDE. So basically it supports the scripting, 5 scripting languages, I would say. Okay, so you can export your script in any of those scripting languages. Okay, so it is used to export the script in the different languages. And what are those languages? So those are the C sharp. Okay, then after that, let me just write it down over here only. Then is the Java. Then after that, it also supports Perl. Then it supports Python. Okay, this is also one of the scripting languages. And then it also supports Ruby. So these all are the scripting languages which are actually being supported by Selenium IDE, and you can, whatever script you have recorded, okay, because as we already know that we have to first record a test case. Okay, so when you are recording a test case, a script would be generated. Then if you want to export that script into any of the languages, so you can export it, or in simple words you can say that you can convert the scripting language from C# to Java, from Java to Perl or Python or Ruby. So these are the 5 scripting languages which it supports. Okay, so this is about Selenium IDE. Then after that there is one more component in Selenium, and that is known as Selenium RC. Okay, RC means remote control. Okay, so like when the Selenium was first launched, okay, so over there it was known as, this component was known as Selenium RC, okay, and it was used with this name only. But nowadays it is called as Selenium WebDriver. Okay, but see, if you have to the people who are the freshers like you, who are try to understand, and who are like using any of the test automation tool, especially Selenium for the very first time. Okay, so for them, initially it is said that you have to understand Selenium IDE only. Okay, until and unless you are able to understand Selenium IDE, you won't be able to understand the other two components, that is the WebDriver and the last component, that is the grid. Okay, so you can say that this is the prerequisite to understand the other two components. Okay, so over here in our course, as I told you that if you have to prepare for the interview point of things, or as you would be joining as freshers in IT as a QA people. Okay, so for them it is okay if you are aware with the Selenium IDE only. Okay, so over here in Bhagya we would be dealing with Selenium IDE only. We won't be dealing with Selenium RC, the WebDriver, or the third component, which is the Selenium grid. Okay, so what is done over here in Selenium? See, as I told you that it it is used for testing the web-based applications. Okay, now web-based application, you can open any of the, if it is a web-based application, so it would be able to execute in all the browsers. Okay, but over here in Selenium IDE there was a restriction that it could be used only in Firefox browser. Okay, but over here in Selenium grid, what you can do is you can execute all the test cases in multiple browsers. Okay, and also you can execute the multiple scripts also. Okay, at one time only I can execute some 20 test cases, okay, in 4 different types of systems. Okay, let me just explain it to you by example. Suppose say I want to execute, I have some 20 Selenium scripts. Okay, and now I want them to be automated in 4 different systems. Okay, and the first system which I am having, so this first system is having some different configuration. So it is supporting actually, or it is having the OS as um, Windows 8. Okay, and with that it is having the browser as Google Chrome. Okay, and suppose say this second system, it is having Second one, it is having Windows 7. Okay. Okay, so if it is having Windows 7 with say Safari browser, okay, and the third one is having say Mac, okay, as OS, and over there is a Firefox browser, okay, and the fourth one, suppose it is having what is the browser we can use? Okay, if it is having Linux, okay, and the browser is again say Google Chrome only. Okay, so if I want to now execute these 20 Selenium scripts in these different browsers and different OS, okay, so what I'll have to do, if I have to like I'll go to the first system, okay, and then try to execute the 20 Selenium scripts. Okay, then I'll go to the second system, then try to execute the another like the same 20 Selenium scripts. But over here, the grid, if you are using the Selenium grid, what you can do is you can execute these 20 Selenium scripts at one time in these different four different systems at one go. Okay, so you'll keep all the Selenium 20 Selenium scripts in the centralized position. Okay, and attach all the four systems to it. Okay, and then they would be taking up the scripts one by one and will be executing it. Okay, so the first five scripts would be taken by, suppose say, by the first system, the next five by the second, the next five by the third, and the next five by the fourth, and then they would interchange. So it would help me save the time. No, Sakib, I told that Selenium IDE has the restriction that it can be used only in Firefox browser. Okay, over here in Grid, you can use it in different browsers. This is the one of the good part of Selenium Grid. And also, the another point is, which is like a plus point for Selenium Grid, is you can execute all the 20 scripts, keeping the scripts at a centralized position with different like you can attach all the four systems and then keep the scripts at a centralized position, and then they will take all the scripts turn by turn, which will help you reduce the time in execution. Okay, so like maybe in 10-20 minutes only the scripting or the execution would be done. Okay, which may take an hour if you go one by one to each of the system and try to execute it. Okay, because before you can say that before delivering the things to the client, okay, you need to test for the configuration and the compatibility also, that whether the web-based application that you have prepared, if it is working on all the browsers or not. Okay, and you need to also check that whether with all the different OS also it is compatible or not. Okay, so you need to check for all those things. So these could be done over here at one time only. Okay, if you say suppose go take 20 Selenium scripts to the first system and try to execute it, because you need to check that whether they are working with Windows 8 or not, okay, and they are working in Google Chrome or not, and then next 20 minutes for the second computer, then for the third, next 20 minutes for the third, then next 20 for the fourth. But if I am using Selenium script, or sorry, Selenium grid, then I can keep all the 20 Selenium scripts at a centralized position. Some five scripts would be taken by each of the system, then they would interchange. So in that way, the things would be distributed and it would take less time. Okay, and all the compatibility and the configuration testing will also be done for each of the system. Okay, so this is about the Selenium grid. But as I told you that we would be restricting to Selenium IDE only. Okay, so this would be our main point of concentration, that how we have to execute the things or how we have to use the Selenium IDE. Okay, so are you all clear with the components and all? Okay. Now see, apart from the components, there is one more thing that we need to understand before practically doing Selenium IDE. Okay. Okay. Suppose say I asked you people to test the Facebook page for me. Okay. So there is a login page for Facebook. Okay. And in the login page, obviously there would be a username. Okay, since this is for Facebook, so the name of the application would be coming up. Okay, then after that there is a username text box, then there is a password text box. Okay, and then there is a sign in button. Now if I ask you to execute, or you can say that if I ask you to check that whether the sign in button is working properly or not, how are you going to check it? Yes, we all have done the manual testing, right? So if I ask you to check that whether the sign in button is functioning properly or not, how are you going to test it? Okay, you are going to write down the test cases wherein you're going to put the valid username, valid password, okay, and then clicking. Okay, then with the invalid also. Okay, okay. So basically what you are going to do, if I ask you, you are going to, yes, correct Kavita. So you are going to write down the steps, okay. If you don't have the application ready with you, okay, and if you have the SRS document, the requirement document with you, so what you are going to do, you are going to write down the steps that enter the username, okay, in username text box. Okay, so this would be your first step. Then after that you are going to write down that you have to enter the password in the password text box, and the third step would be click on sign in button. Okay, now when you are actually executing it, okay, if you have this application ready with you, okay, when you're actually executing it, how are you going to find out that where is that username text box or where is that username field? Okay, and obviously there would be the input data also that you have to enter. So can anyone tell me how are you going to find out that where is that username text box, wherein you have to put the username, okay, and where is the password text box wherein you have to put the password, and moreover where is that sign in button onto which you have to click? So how are you going to find out? No, I have this application with me, okay, and this page is opened, suppose say, Okay, now I have these steps with me. Then how am I going to identify that what is the username text box, what is the password text box? How are you going to identify? Yes, anyone? Tasneem, you are not able to hear me? What about others? Are you all able to hear me clearly? Okay, now you can hear me. Okay. Okay, so I am asking that. Okay, Prasad, you are saying that it will be in the design documents. No, see, if this Facebook page is open in front of me, okay, and I have the steps with me, I know that I have to enter the username in the username text box. I have to enter the password in the password text box, and then I need to click on the sign in button. But how can I identify that? Suppose say like in the username text box, I need to give the username as a say Vidya, okay, and password is ABCD. Okay, now how am I going to identify that what is that username text box, whether it is this one or whether it is this one, wherein I need to enter the Vidya or where I need to enter the ABCD? How are you going to identify that? Correct, Samatha. You will see the field names, right? You are going to look for the username text box, or you are going to look for the username label, that where that username label is present. Okay, this username label is present over here. Okay, so the text box is here, so I need to enter the uh, data that is Vidya over here. Then the password text box label is here and the password text box is here, so I need to enter ABCD over here. And then you are going to look for the sign in button. Okay, so your eyes will help you to identify what all are the different objects that you are looking for, right or wrong? Won't your eyes help you to identify that where you need to enter the data if you are manually executing it? Correct? Yes. So over here, while actually executing it, our eyes are playing the main role. Okay, our eyes and our hands. How hands? Because we need to enter the data. Okay, and for entering the data, we need our hands. Okay, so our eyes and hands are the two important things which are playing the main role, wherein we need to find out that where the text box is present, where we need to enter the data, and what is the data that we need to enter. Okay, or in more technical form, if I say, I would say that our eyes are helping us out to find out the objects. See, these are known as the objects. Okay, in any of the application or for any of the application, these are not some text boxes or something. Okay, so these are the objects. So for identifying the objects manually, if you are executing it, or manually if you are looking for the objects, so your eyes will help you out to look for that object. But how will a tool identify these objects? Because tool does not have any of the eyes, right? So how can it look into the things? It can look into the application and see, okay, I have to enter the username over here, I have to enter the password over here. How is it going to identify that where the text box is, where what things needs to be entered? Okay, Samantha, you are saying with the help of the image. But username, which is present over here, it does not has any image. Okay, it is not having any image. Kirti, that is correct, that it is going to follow the steps that you have already recorded. Okay, but if you have to generate the script on your own, okay, then over there you need to give that which is the part of the application that it should take up, sorry, okay, in order to hit that particular button or in order to enter the data into the text box. Okay, so for that you need to have the knowledge of the things that how it is identifying for that particular object. Okay, so let me tell you, see over here while manually doing the things, if our eyes are helping us out, okay, so with the eyes, with the help of these eyes, we are referring to the objects. Okay, we refer with the eyes and then we enter the things. Okay, but if we are like doing any of the tool, if we are using any of the automation tool, so in automation tool also there is a mechanism, okay, it has its own way to identify the objects. Okay, and you can say that mechanism or that reference which it would be using to identify the objects which are present into the application, that reference or that thing is known as the locators. Okay, so basically what is happening over here is, so there is a login sign in page of Facebook. Okay, when the automation script will be recorded also, or when you are going to prepare your own automation script also, so if you have the recorded, suppose say you have the recorded automation script. Okay, so this automation script, it would ask for some reference. Okay, because to execute any of the automation script, it needs to know that where it has to input which type of data and where is the button present or where is the link present, it that needs to be clicked or that needs to be entered the data into. Okay, so any of the automation script, it would look for the reference point. Okay, and over here in Selenium, those reference points are known as the locators. Okay, so you need to pick up the location, you can say, or you need to pick up the locator of the username text box and put it over here in the automation script, so that it will be able to understand that where it needs to put the ID, that is Vidya. Okay, then you need to take out the locator of this password text box and put it over here in the automation script, so that when this automation script is executed, it will be able, the Selenium will be able to enter ABCD into that locator. Okay, and third, when it is, when the script would be executing, or when it would be on the sign in button, when it needs to click on the sign in button, then over here in this script we need to take out the location, or you can say the locator of this sign in button. Okay, and put it over here so that it could refer to that locator and click on to the sign in button which is present. Okay, because it does not has its own eyes from where it could read the things. Okay, so over here the mechanism, or you can say the reference point, would be the locators. In Selenium it is known as locators. Okay, and this whole thing wherein either the manually doing the things, either by manually doing the things, or you can say by using the automation tool, if you are identifying any of the objects, so that mechanism is known as object identification mechanism. okay, wherein you need to identify the objects, okay, and over here in Selenium to identify the objects we are using the locators. Okay, we'll discuss in detail about the locators, but for the initial phase, this is the thing that you need to understand about the locators, that what actually these locators are. Kirti, if anything went wrong, then we need to go into the script and do the modifications. Okay, we'll see all those things. Okay, how the things are to be rectified and what all are the things that needs to be done. Okay, so are you all able to understand about what the locators is? Okay, then let me just show you that how the Selenium ID looks like. Okay, and see, I told you that Selenium ID is supported only by Mozilla Firefox browser. Okay, so you can open ID, Selenium ID only in Firefox. Okay, and I'll also tell you that how you need to download it. Since I have Selenium ID onto my system, so let me just show you first that how it looks like. Okay, so here it is. Now whatever things you are going to record, those things would be recorded over here in this particular area. Okay, so this is the area wherein the scripts, whenever you are going to record any of the things, so script would be coming up over here. Okay, Kathy, you are not able to hear me. What about others? Am I audible? Okay, you all are able to hear me. Somehow there is. Okay, Tara, you are guessing means? Is my voice breaking for you? Okay, you're good. Okay. Okay, then let me just drop a message to Kathy. Okay. So whatever whatever steps you would be recording, okay, according to those steps, the script would be generated in this particular area. Okay, you are never going to record the scripts. You are going to write the scripts, yes, but recording would be done for the steps. So mark the words correctly. Okay, so while recording the steps, whatever script would be produced, that would be coming up over here in this area, and we need to discuss about this area, but we'll discuss about it after some time. Okay, then after that, all the test cases that would be present, okay, that would be coming up over here, and from here you can save the test cases that I'll show you, and you can open any of the test case. Then after that, you can all see that there is a red button present over here. Okay, by default This means that this button is actually for recording. Okay, and whenever you are going to open Selenium IDE for the very first time, okay, if you are opening IDE in Mozilla Firefox for the first time, then it would be in recording mode only. Okay, can you see over here it is now recording? Click to stop the recording. Okay, and once you have recorded your steps, then you can again click on that button, so it would stop the recording now, but by default it would be in the recording mode. Okay, so these are some things that are important to know. Okay, let me just show you that how the things work over here. So since the recording mode is on, so I won't be clicking onto that red button again. Okay, so over here in Mozilla Firefox, suppose say I want to open and I want to test about the eBay application. Okay, so I would give the name over here for the website, and after that I need to search for some things, say LED TV. Okay, and then okay, let me also select the categories. So I want to select it in consumer electronics, and then click onto the search button. Okay, now I'll open the Selenium, stop the recording. Now can you see over here, I told you that whatever steps we would be executing, those all steps would be coming up, the script related to those steps would be coming up over here. Okay, so firstly we tried to open the application, then after that we have typed something. Okay, that was LED TV. Okay, and we typed at some particular position. Okay, so it has taken the position over here, something of this sort. We will discuss about the target, that is the target. Okay, can you see over here it is being segregated in three parts. That is, the first part is the command, the second one is the target, and the third one is the value. We are not discussing anything about these three uh, things right now, because it will take a bit time to understand it. Now after that we have selected from the drop down some consumer electronics was selected, and then after that we clicked onto the search button. Okay, so we have clicked somewhere. Okay, now let me try to execute it again. Okay, we have recorded the things. Now let me replay it back. Okay, or you can say execute the steps again. Now over here, can you see that? Okay, let me maximize it. There is a bar present over here with the name fast and slow. Are you able to see that? And there is a green button also which is present. By default it is in the fast mode. Okay, this means that whenever you are going to execute any of the test case, it would be executed in the fast mode. Okay, now if I want to execute it in the slow mode or in the moderate speed, okay, so I can, if I want to execute the test case in the moderate speed, so I can put it in middle between the fast and slow, or if I want to make it bit more slow, so I can put it over here. Okay, then the test case will be executed with a slow speed. Okay, not the slowest but with a slow speed. Okay, and now I will execute it. So for executing the test case, there is an option present over here, that is play current test case. Okay, so click onto that option. See, eBay website, it get loaded. Then after that, the second step will be executed. Okay, we have typed the LED TV. Okay, you are not able to see, the select the consumer electronics and then click down to the search button. Okay, let me try to replay it again, and then you would be able to see that there are some changes in the color also for the steps, or you can say for the script which is present over here. Okay, just tell me what all colors you can see over here onto the scripts. Okay, I'll execute it again. Did you notice the colors or the color changes, I would say? Yes, what all were the colors you were able to see? Okay, green. Then Kavita, yellow also. Okay. See, there was a yellow color also. Correct, Anuja. There was yellow color also which was present. See, let me put it more slow, to the slowest actually, and then execute it. Okay. So, oh, it's not blue. Pachai and Tasneem. See, there is no blue color. I don't know how you are able to see blue color. That is a, you can say, the pista color. Okay, that's a very light green color which is present, but it's not blue. This one, this one you are talking about, Tasneem? Under it? No, no, no. This is not the color. This is actually not the step only. Okay. Okay. So over here, we were able to see two colors. Okay. One is the yellow color and the other one is the green color. I don't know whether you have noticed this thing or not, but whenever a particular step was executed, okay, that step was available in yellow color. Okay. And if that step was executed properly, okay, then the color has changed to light green. Okay, but when it was in the executing mode, it was in yellow color. Kirti, did you notice that? Okay, that's good. So whenever any of the steps are executing, when they are under execution, then the color of the step would be yellow, and after it has successfully executed, then the color changed to green for that particular step. Then for the next step it was again yellow since that step was under execution. Okay, so in this way you would be able to replay the test case that you have recorded. Okay, now if you want to, okay, and also you can see over here, see the whole test case is now shown in green. This means that the execution was done properly without any hurdle or without catching any of the defect. Okay, so it was done in a proper manner. And also over here you can see that the run is 1. This means that this test case is executed properly. It is shown in green. Okay, so there is one test case only which is executed properly. Okay, and we have actually captured a single test case only by this time. Now, if we have to save this test case, then over here there is an option of a file. Okay, you can click on to that, then save the test case. I'm sorry, save the test case. In the desktop. Okay, let me give it the name as, I'm saving it in the desktop only. Okay, and this is for eBay, so let me give it the name as eBay. Okay, and save it. Now can you see over here? This test case is saved over here in this eBay. Okay, double click on it. You would be able to see that it is again opening in the Mozilla Firefox only, and now it is being opened in the HTML format. Okay, and if you are able to figure out, see what all steps were generated, or the script that was created over here, it is the same which is getting saved over here. Okay, and also one more thing to be noticed over here is when you save the test case of Selenium ID, okay, see over here, it is showing the image of Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so it will be saved with the image of Mozilla Firefox, and when you will try to open it, it will be opened in the HTML format. Okay, so here it is in the HTML format. Okay, so did you all get that? How to record any of the test case and then replay it, and then after that you can also save the test case. Okay. So once we have saved the test case, the name of the test case would also be appearing over here also. Okay. Now I'll tell you that how you can download the Selenium ID on your system. But before that, make sure that you are trying to download it only in Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so for that you need to have Mozilla Firefox. If you don't have Mozilla Firefox, first you need to install Mozilla Firefox. Kirti, yes, we can do it for multiple inputs, but for now we won't be able to do that, okay? Because this is just the starting. We have done only a single test case, okay? So now pay attention over here, everyone. What you will have to do is, in Mozilla Firefox only, I'm again and again saying that you have to do the things in Mozilla Firefox only, okay? If you don't have Firefox, first install it, and then you will be able to install Selenium ID, okay? Now in Mozilla Firefox, there is you need to open a website, that is seleniumhq.org. Okay, so here it is. Okay, pay attention over here, everyone. Don't do the things with me. I'll send you the name. Okay, and you can try to download it after the class, and make sure that you have done the things before coming up to the class, because it will hardly take some 5-10 minutes. It will be done fast. Okay, so seleniumhq.org is the name of the site which I have sent you all in the chat box. Now over here in seleniumhq.org, there is a option present over here for downloads. This is the name of the tab. You need to click over here to download, then scroll down in downloads. You must be getting Selenium IDE. Okay, you have to download the latest version of Selenium IDE, that is 2.9.0. Okay, click over here. Okay, I think I have certain steps also. Okay, hold on for a second. Okay, so did you all got the steps? See, these are very detailed steps that I have given you. You need to first open the Selenium HQ website, hq.org, okay, and over there is a tab present named as download. In that download tab, you need to go over here to Selenium IDE. Then you need to click on the latest version which is present, that is 2.9.0. Click onto that version. It may ask you to grant the access. Okay, so it will give you some message like Firefox prevented from this site, asking you to install the software on your system. Okay, click on allow button over there. Okay, it after it is like it will take some hardly a minute, okay, so to install. Then after that it would pop up a window wherein it will ask you to install all the add-ons. So then click on install now. Those are add-ons which it would be asking for will be the different scripts that I told you would be supported by Selenium IDE. Okay, do you remember that we have discussed about the different scripts which are supported by Selenium IDE? That is C Sharp, Java, Perl, Python, Ruby. Okay, so it is actually asking you that you want all those scripts or not. Okay, so click on install now. Then it will ask you to restart and again open your Mozilla Firefox, and then when you are again opening the Mozilla Firefox, then you would be getting an icon over here with the name as Selenium IDE. Okay, and for some of them maybe the icon is hidden somewhere, so you need to go to the tools. Okay, and over there in the tools there would be an icon for Selenium IDE, but I don't have any tool option over here, so I can't tell you about it. I can actually show you about it, but if it is not present over here, Selenium IDE, then it is surely present under the tools option. Okay, so these are the simple steps via which you can download Selenium IDE. Okay, so do you want these steps in mail? Like, do you want me to mail all those things to you? Okay, then I would be needing your mail IDs. Okay, all those people who want me to send the mail. Hasna, you want me to unmute you? Okay, hold on for a second, Hasna. Let me. Okay, give me your mail IDs one by one. Let me just. Kirti. Tasneem. Then Sakib. Lalita. Hasna. Sajanya. Tara. Then it's Pachi. Samantha. Okay. Anandita. Prasad, I have taken your mail, right? No? Okay. Sorry, I thought so. No, I have taken your mail. See? It's Kirti. And Parimala. Okay. Okay, then see, tomorrow we will be having a class at 9 p.m. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so we'll be having at 9 p.m. And make sure that you all have downloaded and installed the Selenium ID. Okay. Okay, Kirti, you did it. Good. I told you it's very easy. Okay. Then I think we can close up the session for today. We'll see you all tomorrow at 9 p.m. Parimala, I send you the link, right? Oh, the link for the... Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I thought you were asking for the mail for Selenium. Okay. Yeah, we'll send that. Okay then. Thank you everyone. Have a good night.